So as a lot of you know, I am a massive Jujutsu Kaisen fan, and season 2 is actually right around the corner. And all that entails is that I'm going to be annoying on the internet for the foreseeable future. I'm sorry in advance. Shibuya is coming in season 2 after the hidden inventory arc, which is arguably Jujutsu Kaisen at its peak when I'm referring to Shibuya. But I want to take a second to analyze the titular protagonist of the series, Kaisen Jujutsu, Yuji Itadori. Now I would say a lot of people have a really weird opinion concerning Yuji. I believe that a lot of people think that Yuji is stronger than he is, but a lot of people also think that he's ass. Yuji is actually pretty busted, but I certainly don't think he is as strong as some of the cast of characters that surround him currently. Serious spoilers concerning the manga are going to be throughout the video, so if you don't want to get spoiled, make sure you guys dip out, but make sure you leave a like and subscribe first. I appreciate it. Now, Yuji in his first appearance was said to have absolutely ludicrous speed and strength. I believe in the anime, he set records across his school for things like track and field and weightlifting, all this. Yuji went so fast when he was carrying Nobara in the anime. Both Nobara and Iso were absolutely floored how fast he was moving while carrying another person. Also, just for a small reference, Nobara is stated to be 5'3" or 160 centimeters for those that don't live in America land. Also, if we go off of that, the average 5'3" woman ranges from 107 to 147 pounds. So yeah, to be able to carry that almost dead weight is absolutely dummy. When we also discussed physical strength, Yuji was also seen jumping from the ground level to at least the roof of an overhead bridge in his fight against Mahito, and he jumps to about the second floor-ish, which is absolutely bonkers. Mind you, whenever I talk about all the feats that Itadori has, none of these are Sukuna buffed. The only Sukuna buffs that he gets are passive poison resistance, but that's the only thing that he gets. Now, it was stated earlier on in the series that Yuji would possibly be getting some of Sukuna's own curse techniques into his body, but since in the manga currently he's not Sukuna's vessel, we don't really know if that's ever going to come back, or if in the training arc that happened off screen, if he discovered something as well. Now, besides passive poison resistance, his pain tolerance is absolutely through the roof because, as we all know, he is your average shonen because of his immense willpower. Now, when it comes to Yuji's curse energy itself, we start getting into some pretty weird territory. Yuji has divergent fists, which by the manga's own words was born out of Yuji's bad habits. Divergent fist is essentially a delayed second impact of curse energy from Yuji, making physical contact with another object. Yuji has also been shown to have a certain level of mastery over Kokusen, or Black Flash. Now, Black Flash is when a jutsu sorcerer makes physical contact with another object and imbues their strike within 0.000001 seconds. This makes the strike exceedingly powerful, dealing massive damage to the opponent. Think of it like getting a perfect in a rhythm game or a critical hit in RPG, something like that. Yuji passively caught up to Kento Nanami's record of 4 consecutive Black Flashes in his fight against Hanami, just minutes after he was taught what the Black Flash was by Todo. Now, honestly, Black Flash is a bit weird considering that it said that nobody can use it at will, but it starts getting like spammed in Shibuya, so I don't know. Honestly, I would say that you would have to have an elite control of your own curse energy to be able to even attempt it at all, but it's kind of up in the air who can attempt to use it, who can't. Now, Yuji also does have one major weakness, and that he has nothing to protect him from domains. Currently, as of this recording, Yuji has no simple domain or any other counters to getting caught within a domain expansion, with the exception of Mahito, since Mahito's domain attempts to bump and grind on Itadori's soul, and Yuji is still a novice sorcerer as well, so he doesn't have the kind of knowledge to immediately distinguish a grade 1 from a special grade, or knowledge on how to counter domains, or how notorious certain curse uses are, etc, etc. Yuji is extremely reliant on close quarters combat, and that's actually where most of his fights revolve around. Yuji's fighting style revolves around getting his opponent into a position where he can lure them into a situation where they have to fight Yuji one-on-one. His fight with Chozo was a perfect example of this, as he had to go out of his way to lure him into one of the subway bathrooms so he have a tighter space to fight in. Yuji's durability is absolutely nothing to scoff at as well. He had multiple holes stabbed through him with his initial fight with Mahito. He got stabbed multiple times against Chozo and took a whole bunch of hits from Naito, and his instant spirit of body of distorted killing, whatever that is. Yeah, that name is edgy as all hell. Jesus Christ. Just to reiterate how ridiculous Yuji's strength is, Yuji threw a whole ass Honda Civic at Discount Wario in Shibuya, and against his fight with Sukuna, he jumped off a building so hard he shattered the concrete underneath it and scaled to a higher building just to get his hands on Sukuna. He also threw a solid chunk of a building that was about 2 times larger than he himself of straight concrete, which is absolutely bananas, mate. So yeah, physically Yuji is insanely strong, but the cast of characters that surround him absolutely mollywop him. Hashimo would whoop the dog shit out of Yuji. Hikari would drag Yuji up and down the block, and a lot of y'all aren't gonna like this, but Maki would absolutely give Yuji some work as well. Now, I don't really need to explain Yuta since Yuji already lost that fight against him, but when I talk about Maki whooping Yuji, some of y'all are gonna be in my comment section talking about some, oh, she's just a discount Toji, Maki barely fought up Noya, blah, 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 blah. A lot of people seem to forget that the culling game contains two massive boosts in power for Maki. The first being the heavenly restriction on her body being buffed after her sister passed away. Her second buff was against her fight with Noya, where she gained a heightened sense of awareness when it came to her opponents and learned to actually enjoy her fights. We see this as Noya attempts to snipe Maki out of the air with his body, and she starts to feel things like air resistance and all these different things, so she knows where he's coming from. Kind of like a soft ultra instinct, or basically just the mastery of self-movement that, you know, the concept was invented for, that kind of stuff. Now, if we go blow to blow with Maki versus Yuji, I'm pretty sure Yuji gets wiped. We haven't seen Yuji fight anyone nearly as fast as Noya. That's the biggest thing. The fastest opponents that Yuji has fought consisted of a self-nerfed Yuta, Chozo's piercing blood projectiles, but he still got caught by multiple times, and Mahito, but I don't really think Mahito is that fast, really. He just hits really hard. You get touched by him, you die. Now, Noya was going at upwards of varying Mach speeds against this fight with Maki, and Awakened Maki damn near one-tapped him when he tried to get her inside of his domain. In terms of durability, I do think Yuji has an edge, considering it looked like Sukuna punched a hole straight through him, and he basically self-res like a vanilla Destiny Warlock. That joke was so ass. I'm so sorry for the 4 people that actually understood. Now, also granted, that panel has been discussed to death, whether or not Sukuna punched a hole to him, because it does look a little cloudy and it looks a little unclear, but I am of the belief that if Yuji can get sent through multiple buildings, he can survive a hole through his chest, because that would kill most people. Now, when Sukuna was fighting Yuji, he was actually momentarily concerned about Maki rather than a bloodlusted Yuji, which is extremely telling. Sukuna even tells Urame it was actually the right decision to focus their energy on freezing Maki rather than Yuji. So yeah, I'm pretty sure in a one-on-one fight, Awakened Maki would win. But on a positive note, this actually may not be the case in upcoming chapters, considering that Yuji was actually shown to be working on a sort of body swapping technique and possibly other things in the flashbacks. So yeah, he about to cook up. So yeah, Yuji is absolutely ridiculous. Now, granted, a lot of these buffs and all that come from the fact that he is a bit of a Frankenstein curse womb. We're actually still really not sure when Kenjaku did to him in the womb. I feel like it's gonna be revealed here in the next 20 to 30 chapters or so. We will see. But yeah, if you guys like more videos like this, please let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But yeah, how do you guys feel about Yuji? How strong do you think Yuji is compared to the rest of the cast of the characters that surround him? But yeah, it's your boy Daffy, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this video, and I will see y'all in the next video. All right, peace.